Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District Arc, Episode 5, Things Are Gonna Get Real Flashy. They're already about to. Everything is building up to this moment, and now we have our main boy, Tanjiro, and our main baddie, Daki, just facing down, just 1v1ing in the middle of the street at night, with nobody else around, anywhere nearby. That seems like a recipe for disaster to me, because the last time we had a character fight an upper moon level demon, it was Rengoku, maybe one of the more powerful characters we've seen so far, and he got dead, like, pretty solidly dead. I mean, he put in a hell of a fight, but he still got dead. So, what chance does Tanjiro have? I mean, shonen protagonist powers are one thing, but when you've established a hierarchy of power levels, and our characters are right near the bottom of that hierarchy, and they've moved up a couple of steps, but they're nowhere near the top of that hierarchy, and we've seen what happens when somebody at the top of that hierarchy of power level, the top level, right at the top of the fucking pillars, goes up against an upper moon level demon. It goes poorly. Now, maybe Daki's Daki ain't shit, right? Maybe our other guy that we dealt with was a much bigger problem and whatnot, but I don't think so. She seems scary as fuck, and as the SOS bros would always say, tentacle powers are OP, and she has a lot of them, and they're made of cloth. I was just thinking about how many, like, weird tags Daki comes with. Daki comes with femdom, always, multiple personalities or something like it, switch probably, and tentacles 100%, bondage definitely, and probably vor, given the whole tentacle around a person, this sort of thing. Some weird tags come with Daki. That's neither here nor there. I also wonder, it's just a thought I had, how many Daki pillows have been sold just off of the fact that her name is Daki and they are Makura and it's a Daki Makura? How many Daki Makura do you think they sold? And do they sell Daki Makura but with like pillow tentacles so that they can hug you really good? If not, somebody needs to get on that. You can make a fortune. Just stuff creepy pillows with cloth. Sorry. Okay. All right. We're gonna move off of that topic and on to other topics. Well, we'll start here. This is my drawing for the day. It's a character, sort of Tanjiro, I guess, but I tried to make it really dynamic and get these angles in there. And look, there are angles and also some marks. Workers of the world, unite! Proud of that. Quite proud of that. Good job, you idiot. Good job, you dingus. Can you tell that I'm vamping? Can you tell that I'm filling space here? I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in the episode of Demon Slayer. Our characters they cannot just fight. Our main character dies if they just fight. We need some outside assistance. It's got to come from Nezuko. It's mostly got to come from Tengen Uzui, because he's the only person here who probably has a chance of taking her down 1v1, really. Or at least putting up a front where she'll either be, like, exposed, driven out, or some other result that she doesn't want will occur before she can come in and kill Tanjiro real good. Because she would really like to just kill Tanjiro real good, and also use Tanjiro being dead real good to find out all that she can about the other Demon Slayers. And we'll see how that goes. How do we get a message out to the folks? I don't know. How do we inform them that we need some help and get them here immediately? I don't know. If they're already here, maybe there's some trick of narration that they've already been following Tanjiro or something. Great. I'm into it. I don't want our boy to die. The tension is real. Daki does want our boy to die. The tension is real. What I want and what the characters in the show want are not exactly aligned. And from thence comes tension. I have relatively high expectations for this episode. People have been hyping up the way that this fight is going to go a little bit. I'm not criticizing that being done. I like hearing hype as much as anybody else. Just has given me some expectations that there's going to be some cool animation and some cool fighting here. And that sounds about right, because this is Kimetsu no Yaiba, and that's what you bring to bear when you want to make a shonen pop, when you want to make a bam and a boom and a bang and you want all the audience members to go, wow, I want to watch more, I want to see what happens next, I want to understand, I want to, that's what you do for a good fight episode. So I'm hoping for a good fight episode and a cool way to resolve the conflict in a sense that allows the arc to continue without feeling like we're forcing it. Sometimes when you have this sort of a situation, we talked about this in JoJo's a couple of times, when you have a situation where the main character comes up against face-to-face with the primary villain before the end of the arc. You know, you're not at the end of the story, you're near to the beginning of the story. Your character is face-to-face with the primary villain. The villain has been uncovered to some extent. There's a real showdown going down. It can feel a little bit contrived to extricate all of your carefully planned characters from that circumstance. It feels like everything comes to a collision point, and then there should be some resolution there. Like, these characters should kill each other or fight or whatever. And so you gotta be a little bit careful narratively. And I think this tracks in a whole bunch of different media. You gotta be a little bit careful narratively when you bring together the elements of a conclusion without intending to actually conclude. A lot of dungeon masters report learning this firsthand because they'll take their big bad evil guy, or the BBEG of their campaign, and they'll have that character parade around in front of the characters demonstrating their evilness in order to set up stakes and generate the tension and build up this idea that that's what we're fighting against and put a name and a face to the bad guy. And inevitably what happens when you do that is you're like, oh yeah, you guys are all hanging out at this tavern and you see a weird purple creature with tentacles and they're like, I'm gonna kill it right now. Because why would anybody put it in front of me if the narrative was not structured so that I could kill it right now? Well, the narrative isn't structured so you could kill it right now. You're supposed to be fighting that thing with your whole team in like 5 levels. And so you're gonna get the floor wiped by, once again, a tentacled monster. That could be a bit of a problem. It can also feel really unfulfilling if you have the bad guy beats your characters down and then goes, well, now I've taught you a lesson and I'm going to go off to my castle over there to leave you alone to cry on the floor because that's all I really want. I'm evil, but not that evil. And I'm bad, but not that bad. So I'm just going to let you live. And maybe I'll take your stuff, but I'm going to let you live. And I don't have a reason narratively to do that. Probably I just want to kill you. That's the kind of thing you want to avoid. So it's like, in our circumstance here, Tanjiro gets the shit kicked out of him by Daki. Daki, the other Oiron again, and goes, all right, now, child, don't come after me again, and I'll leave you alive. And then whisks herself away into the wild blue yonder. That doesn't work. It's not compelling. It's not fulfilling. It's not satisfying. It's the opposite of satisfying. It's contrived. And so I really hope that we have a way around that kind of a problem. And I think that comes with the territory of Tengen Uzui shows up and this character becomes outnumbered and decides that given the set of circumstances, the sun is coming up, there's a Hashira here, there are multiple other demon slayers here, there are a set of problems that she doesn't want to solve, doesn't want to deal with, can flee, can leave. And that tension between what will Muzan think of me, Papa Muzan, versus can I actually survive this circumstance and continue on being an evil demon for the rest of my existence and keep that existence going a little bit longer, given that I have immortality. There'll be some conflict there inside the character, and I'd love to see how that plays out, and I'd love to see that calculus go on inside the character, and I'd love to see something satisfying, something with some narrative weight to it, something that tracks, that makes sense. That's my hope for the episode. I want some good action, and I want a solid resolution to the action that doesn't feel like we've shoehorned in a reason for one of our characters to survive when they shouldn't otherwise. I want this to feel natural, and that might seem easy, but I think it might be the tallest order possible when it comes to writing. And then an additionally tall order when it comes to the anime side of production, making everything feel like it's building up to a certain conclusion and then twisting that away from you in an interesting way. Let's see how they do. I have full faith in the Ufotable staff and pretty solid faith in the writing of Kimetsu no Yaiba so far, so I really expect good things and creative elements that maybe I can just yoink and steal for my own narrative purposes. Let's go ahead and give the episode a watch, and we'll see if anything that I said here has anything to bear on the episode itself. Either way, I think things are about to get real flashy. And so let's see how they flash. Nailed it. One version, Kimetsu. One version, timer on the YouTube, Patreon, early access in the description. Beep beep timer, let's go. Okay, on the far side of the red light district where there are no lights at all. Oh, Tengen Uzui runs across rooftops. Hurrah! Sneaky, sneaky. Is he already here? Eh? All right. Well, immediately some reveal. Is that one of his wives? It must be one of his wives. Because that's not the name of the Oiron who is, yeah, so. Hey, he's uncovered something. Can he, in time, follow that trail to save ya boy? Yes. That's my bet. Now I'm gonna shut up and listen to this dope OP. It's got a great bounce to it. Sakyo. Da 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 da. Cute. Let's do it. Cut to things are gonna get real, and we've got his pattern. Oi. Senzubin. 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 Ha. Oh. Oh, she's got plants. Ugh. That was a cool transition to creepy. What a serious woman. Get the fuck out of here. Hi. Okay. So quiet. Ah. Clink, 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 clink. Oh, the power of sound. Thank goodness. Oh, CG. Is that what's going on? Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Because that tells us what? They're gold. That tells us some awesome stuff is going on in this fight. Hmm. No! No! I'm not gonna help you! Oh, it's already torn up? Oh, dude, he's gonna kill you. He's gonna... How dare you? How dare... Yep! How dare you? We are gonna get that sword broken, because I know what the next arc is called. I'm sure. Noisy indeed. Flashy indeed. Okay. Please survive. Again, piling it on. I'm not good enough. Fire. Fire, baby. A little too much for your body there, bud. So we're dropping back and turning this into an overcoming of self? Okay, you did train a bunch. Ah, again, the must. Ah! Ah, yeah, you had to say the line, man. Come on. That's new. Switch hitter, let's go. More like a tea kettle. Water and fire. Ah. Nani? Eh? Huh? That's... He sees it! Dude, he smells it! That's like 3 new lines. Oh, it looks so good. Oh. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Time to run. Time to run. Oh, fuck that. Get out of here. Be gone. Be gone, child. Uh-oh. Now you need help. Oh. Cutting it close, kiddo. It's like 4 powerful blade. This is rad. Training of a different kind. How hot are you? That's pretty hot. Yeah. You should just tell her and ask for help, man. Oh, it's only 100.4. That's not that bad. Dangerous game, man. But a warmer system. Yeah. Produce more heat. Keep on going. You're able to hold off on Upper Moon Demon, man. She still has not been threatened. As far as I can tell. Nah, dog. Nah, dog. Nah, no, 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 no. That's correct. You're gonna bite off more than you can chew, man. To protect them. Damn right. I get it. I'm with it. All of the reasons. Every reason. Like, all of the shonen powers should be behind you. Bitch. Is that already the halfway point of the episode? Where'd it go? Disappeared. Went by so fast. Oh, the others. Somewhat earlier. You're just tearing apart the house, dude. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Eh? Oh no. Oh. No. Awful. Awful. Good for you, man. Good for you, you horrifying monster. Just stuck. That is a bunch of people. Hey. Hey. They're the ones you're looking for. Careful with your cuts. Oh, that's a lot of bones. Oh. Oh. Thanks for the noise. God damn it, we sent the idiot. And it's like a spider web, she's gonna know. Just like a spider. Coming from you. So this was some time earlier. Oh. Oh. Nice. God, I love Inosuke sometimes. He's such a dork. Yeah, he's pretty good. Raise a shop. It looks so goofy. It's not her. It's a part of her. Oh, that's cool. Oh. It's like an offshoot or a runner. Hmm. Oh my god. Inosuke. Inosuke, now you're just showing off. Gonna start eating. Can't just follow the instincts. Uh-oh. Oh! Oh! Hey! Ninja trained! Yeah! I'm in love. You're doing great! Okay! I love you, Suba. Yes, you will be the first to die! Wait, no, you just said! Yeah, get the humans and get the fuck out. Oh, hi, buddy. How are you asleep? It's good to have friends. It's good to have friends. That's what I've been saying. Good job, guys. Uh-oh. Hello. I bet your lad is about to arrive, girls. Roar. No, it was the roar. That's so fun. Oh, hey, all right. What does the other one say? Oh. Honey, I'm home. Hmm? Hmm. But now? Care for the people. Hmm. Hmm. Personal relationships take the trump. That's pretty interesting. Going against all the tradition, too. He loves y'all. Aww. All three of them are so fucking hot. Just like, what the hell? Okay, then. Sasuga, my wives. Asuma. Asuma. He said the thing. He said the thing. Oh, it's just gone. Ah. Okay. So I wonder if this ED's lyrics are from the perspective of the wives, something like that. Because we believe in him, etc., etc. Okay, hit me with that Taisho secret. Yeah. Neen! He sure can. Yeah, give it a shot, bud. Yeah, you should be careful with that. Good job, Suma-san. Oh, you might regret that. Layered memories. Okay, I think we can leave that be. Ooh, this was very fun. Bringing a bunch of things together. The sash having a mind of its own, I did not expect, and I quite like. It ends up looking really, it's kind of goofy looking, but super creepy looking. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Through the OP we go into the sequence here. And we get our initial focus of the episode, which I'd say the focus of this episode is on how Tengen Uzui treats his wives. That's my tagline for the total focus of the episode. Things are gonna get real flashy. Everybody's attention is turned to the situation at hand, and I think I have no qualms about saying that, like, from here, it's pretty easy for our characters to find where Daki is, meet up with Tanjiro, and prevent him from getting super dead super fast. Still some questions about how that'll actually go down, but I'm happy with where we're at. How does Tengen Uzui treat his wives? It's my real question for the episode. And why? And broader, in a meta sense, why in a narrative like this might that be good or bad or interesting at least? I've got some interesting conclusions to draw about it. First is, he's extremely compassionate toward them, given that he's put them in the line of fire. Seriously. Second is, they're extremely loyal to him. This one in particular indicates the potency of that loyalty. Telling him, leave me, I'll be fine, keep going, go, 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 go. Having faith in him completely. And being self-deprecating all the way through. I'm so sorry that I couldn't accomplish the thing. I'm so sorry that I've had to take away your attention from all the rest of the things that are more important. I'm so sorry that that my weakness has led to difficulties for you, is what they say. It's a hell of a self-sacrificing attitude, and it's demonstrated to us why that exists because of the nature of the shinobi and the kunoichi in their village and how they were trained and all that jazz. But his response to it is not to take it in stride and say, yeah, that's right. It is to say, no, I'm sorry. I take this on myself. And he takes responsibility for it. At least that's how I'm framing it and how I'm seeing it. I really like that. It paints a picture. We had a question earlier. The question was, all right, why is this guy so cool? You know, who the fuck deserves 3 wives, let alone 1? You know, we've got a couple of characters here who are all young men, shonen, who don't know how to women at all. And they're like, well, here's this character who's older than us, stronger than us, bigger than us, more powerful than us, more respected than us, and has 3 hot wives. 3 of them. That's a lot. I've got no hot wives. Weird. Wonder why. And the first response is what we get from Inosuke and what we get from Zenitsu. It's like, well, that's some bullshit. That can't be fair. But what if it is? What if Tengen Uzui was the type of person where it would justify that sort of a situation? What if he was the type of person where multiple people could fall in love with him and mean it? And their relationships could be good. What if? Like, theoretically. Who would he have to be? What kind of a human being would he have to be? What kind of a husband would he have to be? And I think we go about answering that question in this episode. Dedicated, direct, straightforward, competent, caring, self-sacrificing, responsible, competent, very fucking competent, but also trusting, respectful. He puts them in a difficult situation, but at the same time tells them, take your own lives as most important in this circumstance. Who is the kind of person that could live a life that might justify such I don't want to use the word rewards because it feels objectifying, but such a circumstance, like what kind of a life might justify that? What kind of a person might justify that? Tengen Uzui. And so he has been represented in the piece of media. So, if that's what our young shonen, our characters who are watching him might think about him, isn't that also what our readers who are watching him might think about him? Those of us who are in the core bullseye target audience of Kimetsu no Yaiba, young men, mostly single. So then maybe you admire Tengen Uzui? I think I do. I think I'll grow to even more as we move forward. Maybe you admire him, okay? Maybe you emulate the people that you admire. What does that mean? Maybe it means being responsible. Maybe it means aiming toward competence. Maybe it means respect for the individual power and strength and ability, but also the need for protection and limitations of the human beings around you. Whether that's in a heterosexual marriage style relationship or just in terms of how you treat others around you in general, I don't really care. I think that setting up a character who is admirable and has this circumstance that I think might be, others might be envious of. 3 hot wives, right? 3 hot wives. Pretty good. Pretty good circumstance. A little bit envious. Well, how did he get there? Well, he's a conniving, stealing, murderous, evil monster who's just powerful and has lots of money and a big car, and that's how he gets the girls. Nope. He's direct, kind, compassionate, respectful, thoughtful, competent. Keep harping on that competent one. And treats them as ends in themselves, not just as means to an end. In any way. Either, like, sexually as means to an end for his own gratification, or, let's say, not narratively, but, like, realistically, for the purposes of his job, his goal of killing demons. They're a means to an end. You send them into the demon territory in order to flush out the demon and find information, right? That's using them as a means to an end. And yet, the speech that he gives to them before he sends them off is, do not treat yourselves as means to an end. It's more important to me that you act as ends in yourselves. Your lives matter more. And then after you come civilians. And then after the civilians comes me. Because I would lay down my life for civilians, and I would lay down my life for you, but I don't want you to lay down your lives for civilians. And I don't want you to lay down your lives for me. You're not means to an end to me. You are ends in yourself. And you I value more than myself. Not just self-deprecating, but self-sacrificing. The theory is already there. The hierarchy of importance is already there in Tengen Uzui's mind. Them, then everyone else, then me. Law-abiding citizens, then me. Demons get in the way, that's the hierarchy that he follows. Now, that could lead to another dead Hashira. That could lead to another dead Hashira this arc. Couldn't it? Because he's actively said that he would sacrifice himself for law-abiding citizens and others. And I think that includes the other young demon slayers who are with us. Or his wives. Either way. But, all in all, I just want to say that I think that the framing around a character like this is really cool. Strong, masculine character in a place that is enviable from a heterosexual relationship, hypersexualized young man's point of view, that is enviable and potentially admirable. Strong male character. I like it. Can't say that I don't like it. I really do like it. And at the same time, flashy, flamboyant, a little bit silly. I like it a lot. Okay, the battle. It goes down a little bit. Blade gets nicked, and you shouldn't call out the swordsmith. He's great. Tanjiro's battling with himself more than anything, and he's got this idea that he absolutely has to defeat this demon, and so far, it feels like he hasn't been able to put a scratch on her or threaten her in any real sense. Now, demons tend toward arrogance, it seems, and tend toward this, like, you're never going to be able to hurt me, not a chance. And so he does have potential that opens up the door a little bit to a sneaky move. But I think she's seen enough of his moves at this point that it's not going to work. The overall flair of the battle is great. The CG Sash Obi parts are awesome. They continuously are surprisingly cool in how dynamic and how fast they move. Some of the sweeping scenes are really cool. The scene in particular where Tanjiro is parrying really quickly, where he heats himself up and is like, no, I can do this, and is really, in that moment, is really doing it after the primary this. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah. After he gets thwacked down, and we get this bam, 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 and it just keeps speeding up as we go before we cut away to the temperature bit. Really cool, really potent, and we bring in all of the emotional foundations for Tanjiro, all of the reasons for fighting, all of the I won't let this happen to anyone else ever again, all of the purpose, and all that purpose builds into his breath. And that's the whole idea of Demon Slayer, right? It's like breath is the source of life, the source of power, source of strength, but it's the motivation and emotion and direction that you choose to breathe in that generates your potency, power, and ability to fight. And it has to be the right kind of breathing. So he believes that water breathing might not be his breathing, which makes sense given his history, his family history. But he's not strong enough to Hinokami Kagura properly either. There was an element, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but Daki says, what is that sound? And there's this like whistling sound that's going that to me is like a teapot. It's like a tea kettle going. I wonder if Tanjiro is going to unconsciously be able to blend his breathings. Now, we've sort of talked about that before. We talked about it when the sword not changing thing happened. It's like, well, maybe he doesn't have the right breathing technique. Maybe it's a mix of things. Maybe he might be capable of all of the breathing techniques, given the sun breathing in his history sort of thing, and that's the foundation of all the breathing techniques. And so maybe you can backward, figure out how that works, and in doing so, be able to blend some techniques. Maybe you could use water breathing to keep your body cool while you use fire breathing or Hinokami Kagura in order to make your body hot, and you can blend it together and keep a balance going or something like that. Yeah, it's the kind of thing that works in a shonen landscape, I think, and I think could work really well. So I'm excited to see what, if anything, that might be. Bam! Boom! Okay, what? Pop. Okay, that's what happens. So he just pops, they just pop him forward, and then we pop the camera forward to match. Her little ha is amazing. Amazing. Oh, and the sweeping shift and the shift of the lighting all over her as we move forward, and the so many camera tricks, so many fun things, and cut away to the boar being an insane boar. Thing that scares the shit out of me because of the feeling of like, well, what if you just get stuck? It's why I can't remember which cave it was, but I was watching a video of spelunkers. They were going into this cave, and there's one entrance to the cave, one little portion of it where it squeezes down way tight, and so they could only get people in and out of the cave to study. It might have been bats that were going on in the cave that they were trying to study, but they actually had to use like slender, small people. And so the whole science team of the people who actually went into the cave and studied all the things were like tiny young women. And they had to still like squeeze through this super narrow entrance. It's the sort of thing where it feels like if you go in one way and eat a meal inside, you can't get back out. That scares the shit out of me. That scares me. I don't tend toward claustrophobia generally, but the idea of going down an endless passageway that just gets narrower and narrower until you get stuck and can neither go forward nor backward scares the shit out of me. One of the reasons that Junji Ito's Wall 1, I forget what it's called, the one with all the outlines on the wall, yeah, one of the reasons why that one scares the shit out of me, because it's fucked. It's just fucked. Ugh. Ugh. It's pretty great. Maggot Sash, pretty great. That the sash talks to her and has its like own personality is super creepy weird, and I don't understand how that works mechanically, but I also don't care. Hot wives, they're really hot. They're really hot, and something about the gap moe in Suma just gets me. And as she's like, she's running around effectively using her weaponry and being very cute, and is like, oh, ignore me, I'm so silly, I'm so boring, I can't do anything. Melts. I just melt. I'm done. I'm done. Ugh. So they're lovely. We get sort of a check boxes. Everybody gets a chance to shine sort of situation. Zenitsu gets a chance to shine. Tanjiro gets a chance to shine a little bit in his own fight, and your Bornosuke gets actually quite a bit of a chance to shine in this episode. Did a lot of boar stuff. He doesn't always get that much. Zenitsu does Thunderclap and Flash. It's good. It's cool. It makes me go, yay! The Zenitsu is here, and I'm into it. And of course, one more reveal still has to be done, and I think that the way that this reveal is done is really excellent. Through the clouds, through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. Destroyer of demons, sick. I wonder if the other one says the same thing. I'm looking at I cannot read kanji, but I can look at shapes and determine if they're the same shape. They look like the same shape to me. They are at weird angles, so it's hard to say. It looks like they both have the same writing on them, so they're both Destroyer of Demons. Cool. I think it's baller. I think the whole... Look, I like poses. I like characters doing poses. It's JoJo's. I like it. I like it a lot. And so having your boy Tengen Uzui drop down as his wives are being rescued in order to cement that victory and that salvation for them. And he does so in a cool fucking pose, and the smoke clears. He's got his swords all chilling, and he's just ready to go. And then we get to have this, like, element of Daki, this separated section of her, go, oh no! Chop. And it all falls perfectly. Whoosh. And saves all the characters. That's pretty great. It's pretty great. And that turns our attention here. It wasn't like this before. Because of our lack of strength, all we could do was stake our lives on the line. But Uzui-sama had different ideas. Think only about your own lives. That's what's most important to me. He gives them an order, essentially. Above all else, your top priority is to come back to me. He cares for the women in his life. What can you say? I'm flashy enough to allow it. I break the rules. In some sense, I break the rules and I break with tradition in order to do and follow what I believe is right. I think that's the core of it. Love for these women. But to be blunt in my flashy way, you three are more important to me. Straightforward. And I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I think there's a lot to gain in life from putting other people in front of you. To, like, take this idea and extrapolate it out to a worldview of some kind. What if you weren't the most important thing in your life? Would your life be worse or better? If something else in your life was more important than you, would your life be worse or better? I think a lot of us think worse. At least unconsciously, if we don't face the question directly. I think we think worse. I think we think, well, if I'm not prioritizing myself, then obviously my life will get worse. What if that's not true? What if it's not true? What if you can benefit in an extraordinary way, an unexpected way, from putting others before yourself? Whether that's specifically in romantic relationships, as Tengen Uzui does with his wives, and this is fiction, it's fantasy. 3 gorgeous women, a 7-foot-tall hunk of a ninja man who's totally silent on his feet and uses giant swords, right? Okay, this is fiction, it's fantasy, but fiction belies reality, and fantasy belies truth. And I think there's something to this idea that putting others in front of yourself, above yourself, is one of the things that makes the self-existence fulfilling. That makes it feel whole and real and good and potent. It's the exact opposite of the demons. You know, maybe good doesn't exist, but certainly in this universe, evil does. Characterized by these selfish, self-centered, destructive demons. So what if the opposite of that is good? Well, the opposite of that would be self-sacrificing, other-focused, creative humans. And I think that's exactly the thesis that's put forward here. And we get it in this conversation between these two characters as they consider whether that's right of him to do. I get the distinct feeling that their love and loyalty to him is a direct result of his respect and regard for them. Almost as if you respect and have high regard for the people around you and maybe put them before you, maybe they'll do the same in return. And maybe, weirdly, though you're giving something up of yourself, maybe you get it all back from them. Maybe you end up with more than you had before, and so do they. And because of the mutualism, everybody ends up benefiting. I think it's worth considering that maybe by giving up what you care about most to those around you who you care for, you receive more than you've given up. It's a leap of faith. But what if it's true? What if it's true? Maybe the world could be a much better place. And maybe it doesn't have to be in like a broad, big, shifting kind of way. Maybe it can be a much better place, starting with a tiny ripple effect of you, of me, of each of us as individuals, sacrificing of ourselves for those around us, for those who we care about. Without expectation of reward or return. But that reward or return might come too. Maybe everybody would benefit if we were all a little bit more respectful in the way that Tengen Uzui was. If we were all a little bit more willing to use those around us not as means to an end, but to see them as ends in themselves. I think it tracks with all of my knowledge of philosophy, psychology, history, sociology, interpersonal relations. Not that that's the broadest knowledge in the world, but I have a smattering of it. It seems to track. It seems to track, and it seems to track with my personal experiences of life as well. So to put it in a narrative format and present it as what reads to me as a clear thesis statement about who this character is and how he treats the people around him and how they treat him in return and what results that has for the world at large. I think that's pretty cool. And I think it gets right to the heart of what I find so compelling about this kind of storytelling. Is that you can set these sorts of hypothetical circumstances up and play them out in a way that sneaks its way into the brains of the reader, the brains of the people reading. Because I'll guarantee you, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who've watched Tengen Uzui's actions and gone, man, I like that guy. And without consciously ideating it, are wearing Tengen Uzui shirts and putting stickers of the character on things on their water bottles and are thinking about that guy and the way maybe they're thinking about it like that motherfucker with his 3 hot wives. I wish I could blah, blah, blah. Or maybe they're thinking, man, he's just really cool and they don't have a conceptualization of exactly why that might be or a formal comprehension or a formal layout of like, this is the thesis statement of Tengen Uzui, right? But unconsciously, in the base of their brain, in the back, they're thinking, man, that way of being worked for that guy. What if some part of that could work for me? I'll bet the existence of Tengen Uzui, it's impossible to say, but I'll bet the existence of Tengen Uzui as a character and this type of episode and this type of interaction has had a positive impact on the world at large. That interests me. That interests me a lot. So good to have you back, buddy. Okay, that's my piece for this episode. Let me know what you thought of it. I don't know. Maybe people will hate this because I didn't jump through all of the animation cuts and talk about all the like stylistic choices that they made and whatnot. Maybe people will love it because sometimes people really like hearing this sorts of analysis, this sort of thinking about what real world impacts might be felt from these fantasy world situations. It's the part of the thing that compels me pretty often. Let me know what you think and how you feel about Uzui and how you feel about the wives and the characters and the boar stuff, and yeah. I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Kimetsu no Yaiba. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to catch you next week for more. There will be early access on the Patreon. Check that out if you'd like to, and I'll see you next time for what I think will probably be the continuation and finale of the first encounter between our demon slayers and Daki, the monster with the sashes. See you next week. Peace.